Mr. Myq Kaplan. And from Totally Biased with Kamal Bell, Ms. Aparna Nancherla. We've got the man, Bridgetown Festival co-founder Andy Wood, y'all. We've also got musical guest Henry Phillips. Oh yeah. We've also got our guest house DJ Bobby from Sex Life DJs. I'm the sidekick Bree Pruitt. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together right now for your host, Mr. Alex Falcone.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. This is so very exciting for me. We're going to talk about the news up at the top. Let's start out with some news, you guys. My favorite thing in the news is whenever something makes national news for the wrong reasons. Out of Portland, do you guys know? I'll start the story. You yell out the word when you know what I'm talking about, okay? 3 women were arrested in a Beaverton City Hall parking lot for twerking. I knew you'd know it. So what happened was, well, first the police came out and they were going to tase the women, and then decided it was redundant. So they didn't bother. No, apparently what happened was these 3 women went in and they paid a small fine to the city of Beaverton, and then they celebrated by twerking, snorting coke, and on cop cars. They weren't even arrested for the twerking, they were arrested for excessive celebration. In Roseburg, Oregon this week, disc golfers found a woman's body on the golf course. Quote the golfer, "I just can't get that image out of..." I'll let you hang on that for a second. Quote the golfer, "I just can't get that image out of my head. I mean, a real woman on a disc golf course." The Nicorette bandit is still on the loose after stealing thousands of dollars of nicotine gum. So cops said to be on the lookout for a dude who looks like he really doesn't need a smoke. He's actually just stealing them because he's trying to quit stealing cigarettes, obviously. That one's dumb. Ready? One of my favorite things that happened this week is a Willamette Week endorsement interview for a statewide office got kind of intense after one of the candidates caught a reporter just writing blah 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 in his notes. Said the candidate, "It was so disrespectful, wah 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 wah." In really sad news this week, a memorial was held for Myq, the police dog who died in a police shootout last week. Sorry, it was last week anyway. No, it's okay, don't worry, you guys seem really bummed out, but he knew what he was signing up for when he put that badge on. Except for the danger and the concept of right and wrong, and of law and order generally, really none of it. Didn't know any of it. It was sad, but we know where all dogs go, you guys remember. It's gonna be all right. After a video of a woman stealing a video of her stealing it off a Hillsborough porch went viral this week, and she was shamed and she returned the plant. So that's good news, right?
I know that girl.
Also, according to the police, what did you say? I know that girl?
Yes, I do.
The stealer or the?
The person who owned the planter.
This is Portland, you guys. Jesus. I mean, it's great news. I'm really excited about it. And also, according to the police this week, according to the Portland police this week, there have been 3 arsons, 6 rapes, 29 aggravated assaults, and 64 grand larcenies. So, good work rallying to get that plant back, everybody. Good job. A criminologist at Portland State University said this week that they released a study that said local news makes people paranoid. Also, did you know that paranoia can lead to sudden death? More tonight on KGW at 10. Also coming up, this thing that you sleep on could suffocate you. Find out what it is tonight at 10. This week in Oregon, 2 78-year-old twins were reunited after being separated at birth. 78-year-old twins reunited after being separated at birth. They immediately swapped identities and tried to get their parents' graves back together. So. I got more reaction than the dog going to heaven and everything. That was
Dead parents
dead dog. I mean.
A lot of, that frisbee golf lady.
Yeah.
The only one, and she died. It's really
It's a
sad.
murdery news week.
It is. Well, so let's contrast this. Did you guys see that our governor saved a lady's life the other day? Governor Kitzhaber saw a woman, an unconscious woman on the side of the road, asked his driver to pull over, got out, and performed life-saving CPR on her until the paramedics arrived. Your governor did that. I hate when politicians pander to the not breathing vote. It's part of his new campaign promise. Yeah, you owe me one. And lastly, then we'll go back to some sadder news. Lastly today, was a Klamath Falls man legally killed a gigantic 500-pound black bear that had wandered onto his ranch. And then he promptly killed a very small black bear, and then one that was just right. It was celebrated with some porridge. It was great. Actually, the thing about this news is it's been really crazy on both sides of the issue. So I've seen like a lot of funny comments of both people who like for killing bears and against it. My favorite one was, there are people on both sides, and they're both crazy. That's the fun part. But my favorite one is this comment on the Oregonian that said this quote: "There's plenty of room for these bears to come down and roam, but they are lazy bears, and so they take livestock because it's an easier food source." Yeah, we shot him because he was a lazy bear. Get a job, bear. Stealing the cattle of the job creators. Come on. Actually, because it was Klamath Falls, we can't tell if he was killed because he was a bear or because he was black. So. Oh, come on. You know if that was a polar bear, they would have made him mayor. That's the monologue, you guys. Look at what the Doug Fur, they robbed a McDonald's in the 40s. And we're on the Squarespace stage! Yeah. It's like the word stage paid more for advertising than Squarespace did.
It's all part of the stage campaign to be the thing we stand on.
They're killing it.
Yeah,
They're good.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey.
Hey, Bobby from Sex Life DJs is here, you guys.
Hey!
Bobby posted about this event today, and he said he was dropping plates at the Doug Fur, which is the coolest thing to say.
What do you mean a plate?
Like vinyl, like this, they're
Wax.
wax. Yeah, it's a MacBook, and if he drops it, it's $2,000. But
Don't act like you ain't digital.
Well, what do you call him? What started with S that you were gonna say? You were like, don't play.
I said sun, but I don't know. He's wearing a sweater. It seems like I'm wearing a sweater.
Don't I look like a guy who's dropping plates?
Yeah. I feel like that's gonna have some cleanup. I feel like we're in a Greek restaurant if you're dropping plates.
Yeah, mazel tov. That's a different. Sometimes I drop a mug just so the other ones don't get out of line. I want them to know. This is so exciting. I'm so excited for the show. I'm so excited for Bridgetown to be happening. Can I actually, my mom sent me an email, like just 5 minutes ago, that I just wanted to share with you really fast. It just said, "Thinking of you as we watch the American Comedy Awards, someday we'll see you on them." Isn't that the sweetest thing you've ever heard?
Yeah, very wholesome.
It's like the wholesomest thing.
My parents would send a more passive-aggressive text. Wait a second, I just got a text. It's from my mom. So watching the American Comedy Awards, maybe you'll get there someday. I guess it's just maybe the way I'm reading it.
Yeah, it could be the voice you use. Don't do that. Mine was real. This seems like
I made mine up. I was just kidding.
Our first guest tonight, we're going to introduce in just a couple minutes, is great on Twitter.
Yeah.
She's really great. But Twitter itself is not doing great right now. It lost like 20% of its stock price this week because it's not growing as fast. Do you read this? Yeah, it got killed in the stock market. And so I was explaining to some people that this was happening.
I wonder if that guy was thinking, I hope Governor Kitzhaber can resuscitate it. His Twitter stuff.
Or was he thinking like everything is getting killed in this show tonight?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted to understand what had happened, what went wrong with Twitter this week, and so I've got on the phone. Hopefully, I should have. Do we have the phone? Sound? Good. Okay, so on the phone we have our senior technology correspondent, my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yeah, he's on it. Grandpa, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, Grandpa.
Little Alex.
Hey, Pops. That's what I call you. I always call you Pops, right?
Yeah.
So what's your take on this whole thing with Twitter and the stock price?
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of Twitter, but it's on the website. The stocks fell. I can't. They say you can't use too many characters. Last time I checked, we were in USA. Characters welcome, Alex. Characters are welcome here.
That's a good point. Doesn't like the internet watch a lot of TV.
I'm being followed by a giant egg.
It's just a new...
I'm following Riff Raff. He's the meanest boy on the internet.
You're following
Riff
the...
Raff.
Yeah, he has a complex emotional life. I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, Grandma, I don't want you to be afraid.
Oh my God, I just watched a 6-second video of a what's happening?
6 seconds. That's a Vine.
Yeah, that's a Vine, I
That's a
think.
Vine.
No, it's not a Vine. It's a never-ending video. It's either the same looking over and over, or it's a series of identical of the same length and shape, shot in similar conditions over and over, and it never ends. I'm gonna burn my computer.
I think it's the same one, but I'm not there. So what do you think? Why do you think the stock fell?
Probably because there's enormous eggs in 6-second pics. And they live on forever in your brain like heartworms.
Okay,
I have heartworms.
I'm so sorry, Grandpa. Well, I really...
Little Alex, you're always the sweetest.
I appreciate you calling in and helping Pops.
I like you.
I like you too.
You're so nice, Alex.
Close the Vine.
You're the best one.
Close the Vine, Grandpa. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our senior technology correspondent, Grandpa Falcone. Okay. Then we should get into a guest. We should get our first guest on stage. Are you ready for our first guest?
I'm excited.
I am excited too. She's been on Conan. She wrote for Totally Biased, the W. Kamau Bell Show. Please welcome on Aparna Nancherla!
Wow, thank you! Oh, what a treat. Guys, don't you hate it when... That's all I have for that one. I think we're really hitting on some truths, cracking things open. I hope you guys enjoy the outfit I picked out for you tonight. 15 years in the making. I feel like the coat really pulls it together. There's some real magic happening under here. I'm very stressed out by fashion. I would describe my sense of style as before picture. Just a lot of untapped potential waiting to be realized. Auditioning for a makeover show at all times. Who's casting? I'll be your dream project. Even just to pick out this outfit tonight, I had to stand in front of the mirror and play Eminem's Lose Yourself like 8 times. So like, come on kid, you got this. One shot, one opportunity, mom's spaghetti. Those are the only words I know. I feel like they capture the gist of the song. That's what Eminem's about, right? Family, home cooking, traditional values. Get it. I don't know though, my least favorite fashion season of the year has got to be beach season. Hate it. Ladies, can I get a silence? Thank you. Thank you for jumping on board without questions. I feel like as a female you have to make that critical decision between the 1-piece or the 2-piece. Usually I go with the 3-piece, which is just a men's business suit that I rock down to the water because it covers up my main problem area. Which is in a societal prison of impossible beauty standards. Still got it. Low self-esteem. Still have that. Holding on to it tightly. I'm actually having a great week, as you guys can tell from my upbeat mood. I used a vending machine the other day. Hold your applause. Not only did it give me my snack, it gave me all my money back. Yeah. So I was like, I guess we're dating now. You just fulfilled all my needs. You're not too bad on the eyes either. A little something for everyone. I'm easily moved by food. I ate out for dinner a couple nights ago, and I ordered dessert, because I'm worth it. And I noticed there was fresh fruit as an option on the dessert menu. Whenever there's fruit as an option on the dessert menu, it feels like a multiple choice question where it's the one option you can throw out right away. Well, I know it's that one. I studied. I've been studying for this test my whole life. Like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire question was something like, which of these infamous dictators launched a world war? A. Kim Jong-il. B. Adolf Hitler. C. Pol Pot. D. Fruit. It's not fruit. It's never gonna be the fruit. Keep wishing, fruit. Hang in there. It's a fruit joke. Hang in there. I like to write for everyone. Somewhere a baby just smiled and didn't know why. Powerful. So people get into stand-up comedy for a lot of different reasons, mostly to run away from your past, but I did it kind of backwards. I got into comedy to pursue my real dream, which is to do temporary administrative support in an office. It's where I truly excel. I worked in a lot of offices though, and I realized my main regret is I've never done this. I wish just one time when I'd been sitting in a tense company meeting, I'd stood up in the middle of it, apropos of nothing, and gone, I think the bigger issue here is, I can't read! And then just walked out really slowly. And I was like, what was that? Is she okay? She's still in here, just walking really slowly. My favorite thing about offices is just how awkward stuff happens all the time, and you can't really address it because you have to see those people the next day. My favorite awkward office story is one time I was working in another office, try to keep up, and I was in an elevator. It gets better. It's actually a woman walked into an elevator, then I walked in, then a man walked in. So far, all innocent. That's important. Button panel's right here. Woman presses 5. I press 4. Man's too far away, so he goes, 6, please. I was raised well, so I press 6. He goes, why, thank you. And then the woman goes, oh, you're welcome. That is an example of taking credit for someone else's work on the smallest scale possible. She was using manners in a rude way. Whatever circumstances that she just has to steal someone else's thank you in an elevator. And when she walked in, was she just like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win. Where's my rose? And let me just tell you, there are a lot of time and space constraints to seeking revenge in an elevator. There's not a lot of room to move. We're on the clock, so I had to think fast, go straight to primal instinct, survival modes. You can't judge me for what I did. I just looked her dead in the eyes. And I farted really loudly. And I was just like, no, you're welcome. Because I'm a lady. Alright, you guys, that's it for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me. What a
I
treat.
know you didn't have a say in it, but I really do appreciate it.
Oh, being here?
Yeah. Well, no, at the festival you had a choice.
I co-signed on it.
You did. I appreciate that. This is not your first Bridgetown.
No, I thought you were going to say rodeo.
Is this your first rodeo?
Yes.
You can tell because she does not know what a rodeo entails.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know it would be like this. More like.
This is kind of better. It's all the way better.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not crying. That's a great.
That is.
I've only been to one rodeo when I was 6. Anyway, a lot of crying. But this is about you, not about. This is about you. So this is not your first Bridgetown. So do you have a favorite Bridgetown memory? Do you have a thing about Bridgetown you're really excited about? Reliving,
I don't know. Okay, I don't know if it's. I mean, I heard some stories about the year Andy Dick was here, and they all.
Did you see Gallagher last year?
No, because I wasn't here.
You weren't here
I
last
wasn't
year.
here
You
last
weren't here
year.
last year.
What? Do you have a Gallagher story? I'll trade you.
I did do. There was an open mic where there's a window right next to the open mic, and so the comedians were just standing there right by the window, and he walked up to the window on the outside of the bar, and just stood there for 10 minutes eating a string cheese the long way.
What do you mean the long way?
Like he took a string cheese and then just went. No stringing. There was no.
Like a hot dog.
Like a hot.
What an asshole.
Yeah, I was just. But just like right outside a window while a show was going on, just. Like he was confused about why it was. Anyway. So what is it? What is it about Bridgetown? What brings you back? What is this?
It's a lot of things. It is really like summer camp, like people say. Like it's just so fun, and I don't know. Like I do feel like I'm easily fearful. Like I feel like if one traumatic experience happened here, I'd be done.
So
No pressure.
So if I may summarize,
Yeah.
your favorite thing about the festival, the reason you're still here, is because no one's scared you yet.
Yeah. That's how I live my life.
Keep this up, you guys. Don't blow this for us. Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad because here come all the kids who were mean to you in high school.
Why do you guys do this show? So scary.
So you were a writer for W. Camille Bell's show.
That's
Totally
right.
Biased.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. You seem, I don't know, only like lightly biased.
Right.
Like a little biased.
Yeah.
But not totally.
Yeah, totally.
Do you? Because like was it difficult to write in that like slightly more agitated about the world state than you normally like? Are you hiding your bias in your stand up and just that was a great chase on leash, or do you have to switch gears to go do that?
Yeah, like I think sometimes it was hard to like drum up that level of outrage because I feel like even when I'm really mad, it's like quizzical.
Yeah.
It's like my rage.
Right.
It's just like.
Why did this elevator lady do the weirdest thing?
It's very contained, so it was sort of like, a new muscle to learn to be like outwardly mad. But also like when people are like, let's do something where Aparna's really mad, because then it's like funny, because it's unexpected.
Right. Bitch Magazine referred to you as the sweetest comedian in the world.
God, that's so like them.
Bitches be calling people the sweetest women in the world.
Yeah, so I guess taking the sweetest person in the world and making you seem angry would be fun. So you also, since you mentioned about the other muscle, we mentioned you're great on Twitter.
Thanks.
Well, which I figured out on my own, but also like many lists. As
lists.
Time Magazine said, you're one of the best people on Twitter.
Yeah. So
which
like
is
them.
yeah. To acknowledge that the internet exists. It's kind of a dangerous moment for them. Is that a different muscle, or is that something that was like worked really well, like naturally, or did you have to like work a long time to figure out what your Twitter persona was like?
I think it was like something that I started doing because some friends were like, hey, here's a new account you can sign up for. And I feel like when I started, come on, we all do that, right?
Yeah.
Where are my Zooskers at? Is anyone on Zoosk? Zoosk flirts?
Oh yeah, it's a dating.
It's a dating. I'm not on it, but I want to be. Zeus.
With a little bit of luck,
be
God
on there.
willing, you'll be on Zeus one day.
It's so fun to say, Zeus.
Yeah. So your friends were like, here's a place you can enter a username and 60
Yeah, I mean, it
character
was
password.
like right after, I guess it was like a year or two after Facebook maybe became big, and Twitter became big, so I was like, sure, I'll try this. And then I feel like when I first started, it was like kind of like rambly and didn't have a point, and then I sort of saw what other people were doing, and I was like, oh, okay, this is just kind of a joke incubator. So then I just kept posting, and you sort of start to hone in on what you want.
So do you write, like, do you test? Is it like only 98 retweets in the first 5 minutes? That's a trash? I don't know.
Stats. Yeah, it's interesting because you find that some stuff is like big on Twitter that wouldn't work for stand-up, and vice versa, like punctuation humor and stuff.
Do you have to test that in a live audience, or do you just know intuitively? This crowd doesn't
come
like
on, 3 commas. Where are you getting this?
You actually mentioned in an explicit interview that you have gotten job offers, or at least like packet submission offers from your Twitter.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have actually.
Does that change the way you write? Like now, before it was like, this is just a fun thing, and then a joke incubator, and then also my resume constantly updated.
I think it's weirdly like any other job where like some days you're really on your game and other days you're just like, this is a prison, and then you're just like, you just like keep putting stuff out there, you're just like, I hate the system, and people are like, 0 likes.
I get that because I work at a prison.
Oh, do you really?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Sorry. I guess I really sold that.
I believe it.
She works at a bakery. It's like this prison has all these croissants for everybody.
It's like a carb prison.
I would get bummed out, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, eclairs.
Right, yeah. But
So-
there's something there. Okay, sorry.
No,
Yeah, let's talk about eclairs.
bakeries. No, because my first job was at a bakery, and there is something very sadistic about when that starts to be like a place you hate going to.
Totally, yeah. It's like
Because you're like, cake! No! Like, it's like such a pleasant thing.
you know what it is more for me? People come in guilty. They
Right.
come in
that's
and they're like,
terrible.
I shouldn't be here. Please just give me a
Like prison.
croissant. Yeah. I didn't do anything wrong.
Everybody's innocent here at the bakery.
I need a pine nut tart.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aparna Nancherla!
This isn't about us, Alex. We should just talk about the guests, huh?
What, do you want to tell another bakery story? Is that why do you say that? You said that with some guilt.
Yeah, I felt like I already talked about it. I was like, brought up the pine nut tarts. That wasn't relevant.
Well, it was hard because she started by saying, do you have a story? And I know that anytime I tell a story when I'm interviewing somebody, my wife gives me shit about it later. So I try not to tell any stories on it. She's not mean. She's just like, you did tell that story. It's about the guest, Alex.
Can she give me notes too? Because I don't have a wife. Yes.
It's pretty great. I don't know. I'm not complaining about it, but she just doesn't like when I tell a story. Speaking of which, should we move on to our next?
Yeah.
By saying this is not about us, you have instantly made the show about you.
Sorry.
So
We're backstage.
here's the. So I want to pull back the curtain for just 2 seconds. So I never actually checked in with our next guest beforehand. Can I just get a confirmation that he exists?
He's right there.
Great. All right. Our next guest is super awesome. He's the co-founder of this very festival that you were hanging out in. Please welcome Andy Wow! That was such a great trick you just played on me.
Master of tricky.
You can take it out, hang on to it.
It's to the
Man,
stage. That's,
I don't know.
That's my thing. That's what I'm known for.
Bree sees ghosts of you everywhere. She's like, he's just right behind you.
I
He's
just
over the
saw a bunch
shoulder.
of wood and I thought it was you.
Fair enough. That's my name.
That's what's up, everybody.
You know, it's not the first joke about your name being Wood you've ever gotten, but that was pretty good.
You'd be surprised how few times it comes up. Like it really should come up more often. Like it's. I have a made porn name. Randy Wood would be a perfect porn name.
Yeah, morning.
Or morning, certainly. Yes.
All of your porn would be themed with the sun just rising, so they'd have to shoot it real fast.
Magic hour pornography. Or what's the sunrise? Is that considered magic hour or just when it's setting?
I've never been up for that. The magic hour is like 10:30 in the morning, and it's brunch. Andy, 7 years!
7 years!
7 years!
Is this, when you, like 7 years ago, which is, so 7 years ago, like a few months, 7 years and a few months ago, is this, did you expect this? Did you see this?
No, I thought this would fall flat in its face the very first year, of course. I thought this was going to be a major disaster. Yeah, I maxed out my credit card the first year, and we just, by the skin of our teeth, Patton Oswalt saved us by coming in. Patton Oswalt, a great comedian, also a great supporter of comedy and of things like this. Like, he heard about it. I was active on this message board. It's very nerdy. This message board called A Special Thing. Does anybody know AspecialThing.com? And we were kicking around the idea of having this thing. I just started a thread in there. I was like, Complete Idiot's Guide to Starting a Comedy Festival. I was like, hey, if you guys were going to do a comedy festival, what would you do? I have no idea. And I have no background in this whatsoever.
And Patton Oswalt was like,
he saw that thread.
I would invite me.
Yeah, he somehow got my. I got cold called by Patton Oswalt. I was like, one of the highlights of my life. Yeah, I got a phone call, an unknown number from Los Angeles, and he's like, hey, it's Patton Oswalt. I saw that thing you guys are trying to do. I want to come up and do it. And yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, and that was, if he hadn't come that first year, we wouldn't have sold out the Mount Tabor Theater that night, and it wouldn't have been a sustainable. Alhambra Theater. Now the Alhambra.
Are you getting the 7-year itch now that you've accomplished? Does it feel like it has to change dramatically, or like what's your feeling now at 7 years? Like, what do you?
Alex is married, so this is how he has to talk.
Yeah, I totally have this. But I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about the reality of what goes on behind the scenes, and how much I'm supposed to just put on the good face.
Be real, homie. Be real.
Let's get real.
I would prefer you to be real. I don't know about these people.
You guys wanna?
This is the best coffee. I would love some real talk. I would love that.
Yeah, it's daunting because the light at the end of the tunnel is the hope that every year things can get easier, that you can find ways to make things run more smoothly. But then there's always just like a wrench gets thrown in the works, like an unexpected hiccup every year. Whether it's like the Baghdad isn't even a venue anymore; it's a movie theater. We lost that. Our hotel changed ownership. But luckily now we have the Jupiter and Doug Fir, which worked out very well.
Yeah.
And then just now, backstage, I'm a little bit flustered still because I got a text that one of the venues that I won't name, on the off chance they do do right by us eventually, I don't want to sell them out, but they don't want to deny entry to their regulars. We don't want to lose our Friday and Saturday regulars, so they're going to let their regulars in even if they haven't paid for the shows at this festival. And I was thinking about it, I was getting worked up, and then I remembered, wait, there's a precedent for this, because you guys all remember last year at Coachella, when the Indio Polo Fields were like, hey guys, I know there's a Pixies reunion that's going to happen here, but we have a monthly pickup polo game that happens at these polo fields, so we have to honor that.
So they played Coachella at the Pixies show?
Yeah, so they kicked out Coachella, so we have to let the regulars at the Indio Valley Polo Fields come in and do their thing. It's like, yes, I get it's Coachella, but we are, a polo fields, and that's our first business. We're not a Coachella fields. So I get why this venue would be like, I get it, Bridgetown's happening, but we have people who want to pay $2 for Pabst, so we're going to honor that over Reggie Watts' show. So that's very fair. That's very fair. I don't expect laughter. Fine, you don't have to laugh at that.
So you said that you were just freaking out backstage, which might explain why you were there and not there. But I was going to say you look surprisingly calm for the first night of the festival. Like, what point in the festival do you chill? What part are you like? It's happened. It's gone off. I can enjoy myself.
I think by Friday's after party, then it's like we're at the halfway point. It's downhill from here. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. Like, I should already
be in the fifth inning. This is an official game. It doesn't matter what else.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can control, and once it's going, it's just going, and you hope that it all goes well. And it seems to be like I was at the Dead Authors show before this, and it was running smoothly. This is awesome. You guys are awesome. So.
I was not at the Dead Authors show because there was not enough room for us.
Ooh.
They kicked the performers.
They called that capacity? Really?
Yeah, They said they were overcapacity. We were not.
There was space. Maybe the fire marshal said there wasn't space, but there was space. That's a bummer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what does he know about venue space? That jerk.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought that was great. I would have loved to have seen that show, but also, like, it's great when things are. I was cool.
It is, yeah. That is cool.
This is I don't know if you guys know, this is a school night, and you're all here in the middle of the night.
Thank you guys for coming. I'm not trying to be all negative on things. Things are great. The festival's great. Yeah, it's just, we get some news backstage.
So we talked a little bit with Aparna about Andy Dick, and we taled a little bit about
Andy Dick?
about Gallagher. Who was
I had him on my podcast last year.
Yeah, you did. Who's gonna
be this year's?
Yeah, who's this year's story?
Man, if I had to predict who
Can it
this
be me?
year's, it could be.
Some shit up?
This is the pre-Pruitt year.
Yeah.
You just go for the PR grab of being the notorious. Yeah. Like it's worth torpedo your career just to be the person who was like the.
Is that what did it to Gallagher? It was.
Nothing of the sort. Nothing. Gallagher is doing just fine.
Yeah.
That might have raised his visibility. Like Peter Serafinowicz, taking him to task for his racism probably gave him more exposure than he's had in years. So,
yeah, being racist is not necessarily a bad business move.
Sometimes it works.
The comedian with the puppets and dads. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a precedence. All right, so is that part of the festival to you? Is having one?
Very much so. It would not exist without it. Yes.
Wait, but also somebody going crazy. Is that also sort of part of the fabric?
Sort of part of it. Yeah, I think there's it's not a Bridgetown if there isn't a meltdown. Whether it's on the staff side or the performer side, there's always something that goes totally off the rails.
So do you get the summer camp feel to you? Are you like camp counselor, or do you get to actually enjoy all the comics being in for summer camp?
Yeah, I think it's a little of both. Like the older I get, the more I feel like the counselor who's just gotta kind of be like, all right, guys, all right, that's I'm glad you're all having fun, but we do have to get up in the morning and have some things to do. We gotta do calisthenics. And,
there are podcasts at 4, so get the day moving.
Right. But no, it's very fun, and I'm almost sitting on this stage even right now. I'm starting to feel a calm wash over me, which might be the booze I just drank kicking in.
Or that your phone doesn't work down in the basement.
That's true. It's very calming.
That's a trick. I recommend that.
Oh, it's like I'm tired, I'm sorry.
Fine.
Like a retreat where you can't use your phone. And there's no word for that, is there, I guess? That's just a
retreat.
A retreat.
Retreat, you would have nailed it. If you had just said that.
It's been a long couple months. I'm working 2 jobs. Did I mention this is my night job?
Yeah.
You got a massage
I'm not trying to get
Monday or something?
Yeah. Oh, my job doesn't know I'm not back on Monday. I have to drive 1,000 miles back to LA, but I'm gonna call in sick Monday because it takes 2 hours to drive.
This thing happened because of and you're still calling in sick?
I got this week off, but I didn't want to tell them it's this week and a day, so I'm just gonna call in sick on Monday and I'll be in on Tuesday.
You need someone to vouch for how sick you were. I'm sure we could rustle up a few thousand people that would be willing to lie for you right now.
This is being recorded, so I don't know if I can sell out the show that I work on.
Definitely you can.
What's this being used for, the recording of this?
Public access in Portland.
Portland Community Media!
Okay, do you guys know there's an MTV show called Ridiculousness? Do you guys know that show?
Yeah.
I work on that show. As do a lot of comedians here at the festival, so they vouch for me, and they're the ones who are on my side for me getting time off. But the main boss doesn't get that this is a thing, so I kind of have to hide that I'm sneaking in work on the festival during the day at Ridiculousness instead of helping write jokes about skateboarders getting hit in the nuts. Which is, they don't write themselves.
This does not write themselves, no. Except for YouTube, that does not.
Yeah.
You're also telling jokes at the Hawthorne Lounge, the closing show, right?
I guess I should have put myself as a better show host. Yeah.
No, that's when you're good. I saw the closing show. I don't know. It was last year, or the year before last. With you and Tim Hammer at the Eagles Lodge, and you're just you. That was Andy Dick year.
Is the best.
And it was a really rough year, and you were just letting it all go.
Yeah, this is
sweating it out.
The blow off steam show.
Yeah. That was the day before we lost Andy Dick for a few days.
Go see that show.
I was worried this was going to become known as the festival that killed Andy Dick. I'm serious. When he went missing, I was like, well, this is what Bridgetown, it's going to be a footnote in history of comedy, but Bridgetown, the festival that killed Andy Dick. Yeah, back in 2011, that was when Andy Dick died at Bridgetown, yeah.
Patton Oswalt saved it the first year, Andy Dick brought it to national attention.
Yeah.
Also, Andy T. Wood on Twitter, at Andy.
At Andy T. Wood.
Andy Twood.
Andy Twood.
It's super hard to say Twitter handles out loud. But definitely check out Probably Science, you guys. It is such
It's a fun look
cool-
at the week's science news through
But
comedy.
like through comedians with a sciencey background, but who have mostly let it go. It's really fun. I totally enjoy the podcast, and I think
Thank you.
Andy Wood, everybody!
Thank you so much for coming.
We have gift bags for being on the show today. People receive my favorite coffee, Water Avenue coffee. They also receive handmade candy from Quinn, the amazing local candy people. Do you guys know Quinn? No, you should.
Formerly of St. Cupcakes.
St. Cupcake, yeah, they went into the candy business.
Yeah. Cupcakes are over, guys.
Seriously, it is now.
This is a candy town now.
It's now coffee and orange and smoked salt caramels. I mean, it's an amazing combination. They're great. And they also receive toast coasters, which are coasters that look like toast. That's not a sponsor. I just found those and I liked them.
Toasters.
You can't just say toasters because that's
Yeah,
there's another product that already has that. That's been taken. You guys ready for another guest? This is so much fun. I am introducing some of my favorite people. I got to request people, and they did not necessarily know me, but I did get to put in my list, and these are my top 4 people all made it into the show, so it's gonna be really exciting. So your next performer out, he's been on Last Comic Standing, Comedy Central Presents. He's got a new special coming out on Netflix in like 7 or 8 days. Please welcome out the very funny Myq Kaplan! You've done this festival before. Welcome back.
Yes. Thank you. I don't mean to give you a hard time. Yes,
You've given me a hard time when I met you in the green room, later when I bumped into you in the green room, when I was talking to Bree in the green room and not you, and then on stage during the show. It's storytelling about backstage, that's what you do. You've given me a hard time a lot so far.
Yes.
This is like one of those big brothers where you give me a hard time and then later you're like, you did a good show, or you might not do that.
Hey, you're doing it. I mean,
Anyway, let's talk about you, Myq.
you're doing a show.
I want to talk about you. So this is, you also do more, not only more judgment, but more shows, like festivals, you hit it really hard. And I want to know, do you still have that same fire as when you started? Have you been accelerating? How is that possible?
So you don't know what level of fire I had when it's like a 2-part question. Like,
Yeah.
what fire level were you at originally? And now is it a similar fire? Like, has the fire increased proportionally?
Would this be easier
Is
if I
it-
used hunger as the metaphor instead of fire?
No, I like fire. Let's
Okay,
go with
great,
fire.
fire.
And wood fire. Okay, so let's try before. I mean, I think I generally just say yes to things, which is I think what you have to do in the beginning. And I definitely now will, instead of just saying yes to things, I'll be like, what is that thing first? And then they tell me, oh, you'll be judging an international air guitar competition. Okay, then yes, I'll do that. You'll be in the round opening for Casey and the Sunshine Band, for people who don't want to see that. They want to see the band, they don't want to see. They yelled, "Get down tonight." I don't know if they were telling me what to do or requesting a song. A little girl gave me a thumbs down. And that was the nicest because it wasn't loud. I was hired to do 25 to 30 minutes for this opening set, and then there was going to be an intermission. So it wasn't even like, if I leave sooner, if they boo me off stage, the band doesn't come out sooner. There's just, I was like, guys, I was hired to do 25 to 30 minutes. Here's the deal. If you don't do any more talking, I'll just do 25. But if you do more talking, I'll do 30. They were like, no deal! We just want to make you feel bad. So
would you say yes to Casey and the Sunshine Band if they called again?
Again, absolutely. I would have my revenge of, just getting paid. It's like, hey, do you want some hundreds of dollars to yell or to be yelled at? To yell and be yelled, like, just here, do you want money? I'll get paid $400 for half an hour of whatever, kind of, not whatever. Don't, guys, I will have to see what it is first. But I do most things for a half hour, $400. Most things, never mind.
So the fire level is the same? The interrogation level is higher.
Yeah, I don't know about this metaphor, but
Do you want to go with hungry? I had hungry at the ready.
Yep. Okay. Let's switch to hunger and see how it
Are you
goes.
still as hungry as you were back?
No, I have a lot more food stored up for the winter in my cheeks, nut style. I have nuts in my. Never mind. Let's go back to fire. Fire nuts. Okay, my nuts are on. Guys, are your only questions about fire or hunger? Do I have to? Okay.
I'm interested. Well, okay, let's talk about the other things you're doing at this festival. So one of the things you're doing is you're doing your podcast.
That's true.
Tell us about your podcast.
Oh, thank you. Wow, thanks for that. I mean, now you're tricking me. That's, I believed it when it was one person, and then there's
Second was half, and then it's like diminishing returns.
Hey, thanks, Brie. That's her name. It's not a. Anyway, so yeah, my podcast is called "Hang Out with Me," and it's an order for what you do. Audio wise, you can listen to you can come, people in the room. You can come see it on Saturday at 4, and I'm gonna
At the Alhambra. Just telling you the name.
I thought you were clearing your throat. So
The theater.
bruh, that's a douchebag. Getting ready to talk. Bruh. Is that the name of the theater?
Yes, and now you've got a joke about it stored up for when you get there.
Yeah.
Saturday at 4.
That's all I want to do is. I ran out of
who's
stuff to
hanging out
say.
with you?
We're gonna have Ian Carmel and Barbara
I've heard of
Broom.
them. I've heard of both of them.
Yeah, they're both from here, so I'm happy to come to where people are. And,
Barbara's a writer on this show.
Oh, where is she here?
No, she's doing another show. They booked my writers on other shows at the same time, so they couldn't even appreciate their work. It's kind of. Could we talk to Andy about that? Anyway,
Let's get him out here.
yeah, this feels like it's taken a.
Why didn't you ask that question to him?
It's too late. What? Just tell me I'm doing a good show, little brother. That's all I want to hear.
Oh, I'm your little brother?
No, that was my little brother. That was you talking to me. That was in quotes.
I understand now, but it was a funny misunderstanding. Yeah, I mean, this part of the show, like most of the stuff that I'm saying is going well. And do you think, is that good? I mean, that's great. You want to make your guests look good. And so you're going by like the optimal approach of like, here's how I'll make the guest look way better than me. It's just like, I'll lay down. And then, like, they'll be taller necessarily. Like, I mean, I'm 5'6". I appreciate, like, it's metaphorical. So, this show's going great. I'm having a good time, but it also doesn't matter. I mean, we're all gonna die. Like, is anybody not gonna die? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, like, yeah, I mean, have a great time. I mean, it's sort of up to you. Like, you're doing it, you guys are doing great. You're enjoying things. Hey, how are you at interviewing, you think?
My wife doesn't like when I talk about me.
Okay. Does she like it when you talk about she?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about her. How long have you been together?
Don't fall for it, Alex. Ask Mike more questions about himself.
No. Wait, how long have you been married?
We've been married for about a year. We've been together for 9.
That's great. And are you in your 30s?
I am almost.
You've been together all of your 20s?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about how.
It is a super normal thing to say.
Okay, yeah.
If we met during the Great War, which we didn't, so it's kind of weird now.
I mean, but you made it. I mean, usually, so you met when you were like 20, and usually people who meet when they're 20 and are try to get together and get married, don't succeed. But you did. You made it past 7 years. Is like that's when people usually call. My parents got divorced at 22, but at 22 years of marriage, not at age 20. My parents got married and then just got. Guys, this isn't about me.
Literally, it is.
Okay, ask me more questions then, I guess. Sometimes on a talk show though, and it doesn't matter. So
it is super intimidating that you just casually dropped in that you've done real talk shows before. It's like, thanks for being on my fake show.
I mean,
it's pretending to be the shows that you get to do.
You're welcome, little brother.
All right, so at Myq Kaplan on Twitter, spelled nothing like you'd expect.
You're right.
MYQ Kaplan.
Kaplan is like you'd expect.
Kaplan is pretty much normal. Ladies and gentlemen, Myq Kaplan!
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be on Comedy Central presents Jimmy Kimmel Live and a lot more. Please welcome out Henry Phillips!
But I'm gonna do a song. I'm kind of excited. Well, for one thing, thanks for coming out tonight. It looks like it's a pretty decent turnout, and you know, there's a lot of obviously tons of better shows you could have been at. It's cool. This is a song that goes out to anybody out there in this room tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. You guys hear that okay? Sorry, don't you wish they just had some kind of pill that you could just take? Where you could instantly be able to be one of these guys who just kicks the guitar? Just like Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan. You wouldn't have to practice all the damn time. Just take one of these pills, then you're playing like that guy for like an hour. Like, let's hear at some party this late at night and impress some hot girl at the party, maybe. Or maybe later on in the relationship, you wanted to impress her parents. Because they just didn't think you had any of the redeeming qualities. They thought you drank too much. Just overall, they just thought you were kind of a f***y person. You wouldn't have to worry about all the paying dues for years and the suffering for your art. And by suffering, like doing the shows, you know, that go really late with like 12 people in the dark. Instead, you just shoot right to the big time. You got 20,000 girls just flashing their underwear and throwing their breasts. Or throwing their flashing their breasts and throwing, taking their breasts off and throwing them at you. You wouldn't have to worry about all that goes along with trying to get that good. Wouldn't that be great? If they just had a pill like that, wouldn't that be neat? Alright everybody, I actually happen to have one of these pills on me right now, and I'm gonna take this and see if it works. I've never tried this before, but I think I do want to say, if you get up to the merch table here, you can purchase these pills for $10 a piece. So I really appreciate that. Wouldn't that be great? Why wouldn't that be neat? But they don't. Thank you.
I'll do this.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll stand together.
Yeah, let's do that.
Brothers. Okay, so obviously with this display guitar mastery,
yes,
a lot of work. Did you start doing comedy with the guitar? Did you start doing guitar without comedy? Did they come into the world at the same time?
I started guitar when I was 8 years old, and I started doing.
Open mics at 9.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I did a lot of singer-songwriter type venues, like, you know, I mean, I was in metal bands in my teens and everything. I started going to like coffee houses and trying to do some real songs that I had, and people were just, they hated it, you know, and so I started putting like weird lyrics to the songs, and all of a sudden everybody in the middle of whatever they were doing would just, they'd hear something up and they'd be like, what is he doing? What did he say? And then they'd start watching, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, now I can do this because people are watching me. So,
and
cool.
So is there a point where you're going to be like, well, I've made it just guitar from now on? Stop the jokes.
I doubt it. Yeah. I've made it part now. But the stop guitar, I might do that. No, I've actually been doing a lot of just regular stand-up comedy too. So.
Yeah, and then also releasing classical.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked to say that I've got one foot in the music door and one foot in the comedy door.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody can picture that. I've got
It really depends on where the doors are.
yeah, if they're side by side,
Yeah.
I'm sort of like humping the wall in between the two doors, and yeah,
It's a sturdy piece of wall. It can handle.
yeah, but it is a lot of work.
Nice. Is this your first Bridgetown?
Yes,
It is?
yes.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being
Yeah,
here.
thanks for having me. This is a great show. I'm having a lot of fun.
I really want to fun too. Will you play us one more song?
Absolutely, I'll play.
Henry Phillips, everybody!
Thank you. This next song here, I'm very happy to do. I was in an interview recently to promote my new album, which is called Let's Get Suicidal, and they asked me what are my two favorite things, and I was like, cooking and masturbating. And I don't know what the second thing would be. This is just this next song really has nothing to do with that joke, but this is a song here. Last year was. Did you know that? I don't know what it was like here in Oregon, but did you know in LA last year, at one point the unemployment rate was 100% in my apartment, which is crazy, right? And it was a very difficult year, and I remember watching a lot of TV, and I was like watching, and a lot of people made some huge mistakes, and this is just a song about making mistakes, and how when they happen, we tend to be too hard on ourselves, and we should try to pick ourselves up and move on, and it's sort of an uplifting song, I think, to end the show with, so here we go. Oh, sorry, that was my bad, all right. And by the way, this is kind of a smooth jazz type song, so I don't know, girls, if you want to show your whatever you want to do. Sometimes we all make mistakes, and sometimes we catch the real tough breaks. But here's a trick that I've been working on. Just say oops and move on. Ran out of gas, or maybe you stepped on broken glass, or managed to lose a Malaysian plane. Just say oops and move on. Or you're some Australian movie star, and you end up at a Malibu bar. Next thing you know, you're getting blackout drunk and saying stuff about Jews. Don't you even sweat it, have a gin and tonic and just try to forget it, cause it's all good. Or tweeted your boner to a college girl. Just say oops and move on. Sometimes there's nothing else to do. Besides, there might be people suing you, cause you might have killed the king of pop, giving him too much drugs. Just say oops. By the way, I want to apologize about my voice tonight. I mean, every night it's a shitty voice, and I apologize. We crashed a cruise ship off the coast of Italy.